Hello and good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Good to see you here. Paul Training. I'm going to dive into today's, every Wednesday. It's all about being inspired by the interwebs, doing a creative spin on popular topics on the interwebs. Feel free to say hello. Would love to see you. And thank you for being here. So feel free to say hi and we'll get this party started. So thank you so much for joining me. Yes, thank you, Michelle and everyone. So this is going to be fun. Every week, today, I'm going to cover an internet-inspired sparkles. That's right, the unspoken rule that every graphic design project needs some use of sparkles. So yeah, let's get our sparkle on. I'll show you what I mean exactly because it's from this tweet right here. You see right here, Owen M. Rowe. It's an unspoken rule that every graphic design project needs to use some variant of these shapes. So I don't know if you guys ever used sparkles or like any like little flares, a little punchy thing. I tend to do it sort of as the last sort of pass on a design. But yeah, so I want to welcome you here from Ukraine as well. Inna, I see you there on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, here we go. So yeah, you can always message me if you want the intro music, but let's dive into this. Like I use these, and again, this is going to be more of a graphic design project, but I'm going to show you how to make these fun sparkles and all that fun stuff, right? In Illustrator, super easy. Jump in here. I'm going to make some things sparkle. Why not? Okay, so a lot of people like reach for the star. We could jump in and add a sparkle with the star. Yeah, that's not a sparkle. That's not quite how it works, is it? Did you know with this star, I can hit the up arrow to make more points to this star. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's add some more points. I don't know, maybe there's 10 in there. We'll hold down the command key and boom, we could really make this sparkle and sort of spread out, and we could still control the number of points. So here's, again, just a quick sparkle done. No problem, just like so. Boom, there it is. Right, just getting our sparkle on, right? Because we're going to add this to a project. I could select all these inner points, and let me just change this highlight color to something we're used to. Actually, let's change it to red so we can see it. So I'm selecting all these inner points right in here. And then we'll just curve it because I feel like it just needs like a little bit of a curve, something like that. And there we have our fun like sparkle. Isn't that neat, huh? It's so neat, all right? Let's go crazy, huh? Let's have some fun, right? So again, we know we need to add some sparkles in some way. Going back to my star, so that's now the default shape. What I will do is I'll actually flip this really fast. Maybe I'll... yeah, let's just go with this. Maybe we'll change it a little bit. But let's go really trippy. You ready for this? If you hold down the tilde key and click and drag, what you want sparkles and pizzazz. There you go. Can you see that? I did that in one smooth motion. Does it hurt your eyes? Sure, it hurts your eyes. Let me switch. Put myself over there so you can see this lovely design. Right, I just created all these vectors. Command Y, there you are. Boom. Right, super cool. Again, the tilde key is the little squiggly line, and you can see how you can just kind of make this design as we kind of zoom in on this, since it is, of course, a... yeah, this is the sparkle of all sparkles right here. It gets even more fun if you just even add a gradient to it really fast. I'll do this really fast and we'll add some more sparkles to the design I'm working on. We'll just throw a gradient in here. We'll just, you know, kind of add a new layer, turn that off. And we'll do this again just for fun. Right? Same idea. Click and drag. Ooh, wrong one. Click and drag, holding down that tilde key. There we go. So I added just a gradient to it, and I just think that turns out kind of cool. So there you have it, right? Easy enough. We can go to my design and kind of add sparkles to it. Is this fun? So yeah, Jonathan Adamo, just so you know, it's the squiggly line. I don't know what else to call it. It's above the tab key, at least on, I don't know, and your standard international English keyboard. It's above the tab key and below the escape key. It's the squiggly line. Okay, super cool. So we could add that, right? And we could just, you know, have have our design as we work on this, because you know you need sparkles for this. Here's another thing you can do. Maybe you don't want that. Let's just kind of simplify it a little bit. Because what I want to do is like, what if you want to add just like something a little bit more elegant, exactly like these, by the way? How can you make these exact little characters? Super easy, right? Go in here. In fact, again, you could use the star tool. You could straight up use the rectangle. Boom. Here's your rectangle. Let's flip it. Let's just make it white, shall we? Yes. And thank you so much for joining me. Each week I just take something popular on the interwebs and show you how to do it and how to take it to the next level is the idea. But with this shape, I could bend this and do all this stuff. I did this in an even harder way in the past. But right in here, I'm going to go to, let's go to pucker and bloat under distort and transform. I'll go to pucker and bloat right in there. And all you need to do is with pucker and bloat, just take this over a little bit to pucker. There we go. And there's your sort of perfect little zing. It makes a sound too. It's like bling. It's like a little bling sound. Just like that. Boom. There it is. Okay. So cool. So fancy. And there we have like the new legends. I don't know what this is. I was just thinking of ideas for books, podcasts, you know. It's like, what do we design for? It's going to be like your friend started a podcast and they need cover art, you know. But there you have it, sort of like the new legends. Oh, so cool. Bling, bling, as Felicia says. Let's, again, like take this maybe to the next level. Because I like this, by the way. I think this is pretty cool. By the way, if you don't want, you can always expand appearance, and then you'll have those exact points if you want to work with it that way. But I'd probably throw a couple in here. This just seems to match the design a little better. What if we went super fancy? Let's do this. Let's go super fancy. Maybe we'll do a new version of this, of the new legends. Let me grab just some different text. It's kind of thicker. And then let's do this. I just got to do this really fast. I have some graphic styles in here. Let's see what this looks like. Graphic styles basically add what, in this case, Gaussian blur, offsets, strokes, a ton of fills, kind of like that. So if you end up with a graphic design that has something kind of like this with some depth, it's going to mean your lens flares need to be different as well. Like this is already pretty cool. Just so you know how this is made, we could even open this up. Let's select this legends. Let's go to the appearance panel. We can see right in here. Oh, it's made with all these fills and all that crazy stuff. In fact, if I turn that off, you can kind of see it there. Kind of need to shrink everything down too. Maybe I will. Wait for it. Wait for it. I don't want to scale strokes and effects because I want my strokes and effects to be bigger. So I'm going to scale down everything else, right? As I scale it down, wait for it. It scales up all the strokes and effects. But now I want to add some cool lens flares. Let's like have it add some more sparkles. And again, I could do these sparkles a number of ways. Guess what? We have, this is what I could do. I'm going to grab an ellipse tool. There we are. Circle. Let's just reduce to basic appearance. We just have this lovely little character. And what we can do is change this gradient, and this gradient's going to be our sparkle, huh? Let's make it sparkle. There we go. Key thing, if you're going to do any sort of sparkle, the second color, so this color, even though it fades out to transparent, see how that says 0% opacity? Change this color. Change it usually to like an orange or something. You want it kind of in here, and it just creates this nice little blend, right? So it's white in the center and then fades out to that different color, and I just think that's kind of cool, okay? So that's what we'll do. We'll save that. Why not? And there's our cool gradient. But now we're going to play with this a little bit more because we're going to scrunch it up. Scrunch it up like so. The thinner, the better. And then we're going to do this really fast. We're going to make it sparkle. We're going to go to effect. And all I'm going to do is you could do this a number of ways. But I'm going to do distort and transform, and I'm going to transform this. You ready for this? This time I'm going to transform this. I'm going to make a bunch of copies. Maybe not a bunch. Maybe just like 4 copies, right? I'm going to rotate it like 45 degrees. Boom. There we are. We have our sparkle, right? Because again, I made that many copies, right? If it was 3, oh, I actually only need 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes, it only needs 3 because it doesn't count the original. So there's 3 copies. You get the idea. If there's 2, cool. We got our sparkle. We got the start of it. I'd take that same burst. You ready for this? Do you guys know this stuff? I don't know. You tell me. Grabbing this, let's drop this in here. This is just, again, another gradient. Okay, what's fun about this? Are you guys having fun? I'm having fun. Let's take this and let's change, rather than changing the opacity, we're going to change the blend mode. So right in here, we could change the blend mode to, I don't know, we could try overlay or color dodge. Ooh, look at color dodge. Look at that. Oh, that is something else. That is intense. So yeah, let's try soft light. Let's try hard light. You know, you get all these like different effects. And yes, I could always change that and have it fade out a little bit more, which is probably what I would do here, is I would kind of shift that way. Maybe make it look a little less intense. But now we have this like little flare, as you can see. And it's fun, okay? Right? Well, let's group it. Let's shrink it down. You know, whatever. We can put it like right there. There we go. We are meeting the requirement for this lovely tweet that we have in here. So let's take a look. Again, just to reference, O and M row, every graphic design project has to have some variant of these shapes. So I'm kind of making this one here super easy to do, and I made this other one. And we could play with this all day long, by the way. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Oh, good. Some of this is new to you. That's good. Okay. Shakar, good. So this is a reason. Guess what? I just showed you how to do something that's technically already built into Illustrator. Let's go right over here. Because what do we have kind of hidden back here? Oops, sorry for all the moving around. Is the flare tool. So there's actually a tool in there that will add the flares. Like, this goes to prove the point that every graphic design project needs a flare. Because we literally baked it into Illustrator. So ready for it? Bam, there it is. There's our sparkle. Right? Drop right on there. Boom, sparkle. Light it up. Boom, light it up. And again, I'm actually adjusting the, I forget what they're called. Those little like, sort of these little orbs out here. Do you see these? Isn't this cool? You'd be like, there's no way this is Illustrator. Yeah, it's Illustrator. I don't know what these little orbs are called, and I really wish I knew. Looks like a musical cover for Linkin Park. Yeah, maybe. The New Legends. You know what this looks like? This, I don't know, maybe it's Legends of Tomorrow, but this feels very much like a Disney Plus type of show. Or something, you know, like Marvel or whatever else, right? Super easy to do. We can throw those lens flares in there. We could do the same thing. Yeah, so it's called lens flare, just so you know. It's right in here, flare tool. In fact, if you double click on the flare tool when it's over here, and you get the flare tool options. So if you decide you don't want as many rings, I guess they're just calling them rings here, but if you want less, or if you want less rays, that's pretty good. Let's go with like more rings, the largest being 100%. So we're just playing with all of these. And this is the direction which you can control afterward as well. So we're, yeah, did we decrease the number of rays? So that's how you could change the properties. So now when I create this one, it's going to be different. It should have sort of like bigger rings as well. Click, wait for it. Boom. See how big these rings are? That's what's happening there. It's giving me those big rings. But this is pretty fun. It's kind of like a retro futurist style. Yeah. Yeah. So Felicia. Yeah. Thank you, Rocky. Oh, Rocky, we need to talk. Good to see you here, buddy. So yeah, it's kind of up to what you want to do. Because here we have, this is an entirely different style than what we had here. Right? So it's just like different styles. Probably in here, I would probably still play with the color in here, by the way. But again, different styles depending on what you want to do, as you can see. We could take this to the next level. What if we do want to take this into I don't know, into Photoshop, for instance? How would we do this in Photoshop? And I kind of like this. Let's take this. Let's go into Photoshop. Geez, I really need to... Let's just paste this in here as layers. So by the way, look at this. You can copy and paste from Illustrator to Photoshop. It'll preserve Illustrator attributes. We're actively working on this. Since it is text, it's probably going to give it to me in layers, but it's not going to give me... ooh, it did. Oh, that's amazing. But why can't I see it? That was neat, but I can't see it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I easily did something weird or something. That is so weird. Pass through. Either way, the text does get pasted. I'm just going to delete those and turn this on if you don't mind. Anyways, I was just going to do something similar in Photoshop, because chances are you're not, I'm not always using Illustrator. I'm in Photoshop half the time. By the way, can we just take a second to admire this font? Do you not love this font? Can we just take a second to admire this lovely font? Let's make sure this is... See what it did here? This is how clever this font is. This font, for those who asked, I know somebody... Yes, thank you, Michelle asked. I knew somebody was going to ask because it's so nice. It's called Allogist. A-L-L-O. Sorry, I moved. A-L-L-O-G-I-S-T. Allogist is amazing. So look at what it did with the U and the N. It's awesome. Nothing there. Oh, you know why? Watch this. You ready for this? I'm going to change this. No, that did not do it. I thought it was going to do it. But it even does it for lowercase too, which I think is super cool. And the reason this is happening, and I know this is off subject, but right over here, you want to make sure these type options are turned on. So typically these is what brings the U and the N together. And then sometimes you'll have discretionary ligatures as well. So it kind of just depends on the font. But there we have that. That's not even what I wanted to talk about. I just want to have some cool lens flares in here. And of course, those are baked in as well. So we could just fill this all with black. There we are. We'll go up to filter. We'll go down to render. We'll go into lens flare right here. There we are. Come on in. Welcome. Here's our lovely lens flare. By the way, you could find out the points exactly. I usually just put it in the center, and here's you have your different lens types. So again, this has been in Photoshop, excuse me, for I don't know, 20 years. A very long time. So that's why a lot of you might know about it. Again, you're going to end up with one of these, like maybe color dodge. Look at how bright that is. Zing. Make it a smart object. Scale it down. Right? And there's your other lens flare, at least what you have in Photoshop. Right? Because everything deserves a lens flare. Okay? Why can't you search for ligatures in Adobe fonts? I don't know. That would be... Camille, that's a great suggestion. I love that. I think that's a fantastic suggestion, by the way. Yeah. Into it. Because you currently don't have that option. And it'd be nice if you could see all the different ligatures, or it's going to be the discretionary ligatures. I want to find fonts that are discretionary ligatures. All right. So we've done that. That looks good. The Sunshine Gang, we can add this as many times as we want. I usually would just take this and duplicate it, move it down, shrink it, rotate it, all that fun stuff. I think everybody gets how this goes, right? You've been using these so much. Let's go back to our tweet as I kind of kind of wrap up, I could make more of these, but they're all kind of made, you know, roughly the same way. And these, super easy. I actually started making these in the beginning on down the line. Check this out. Here's something else you could do. You could literally go to Adobe Stock. Did you guys know this? Go to Adobe Stock, change this to free, and then type in sparkles, because that's kind of what they are. Type in sparkles or stars, whatever. And maybe I will do stars. Stars. Is that what they are? All sorts of things. And then change this to vectors, right? And now you get all these vector stars like this stuff. I guarantee you if I download this, it's made the exact same way that I just made it, right? So it's going to be a radial gradient, scrunched, and then also rotated and all that fun stuff. So that's where you get, again, this one. So there you guys are going to be our new legends, I'd say. Graphic design legends, that is. Last thing I will do, just to kind of wrap this up, let's say if we really want to add some sparkles to this new legends, we want to go nuts. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this into my symbols panel. Take this star, and I've done this before. Maybe we could change the color of it. I don't know. But let's just drop it in here. Boom, there it is. Star. Boom. There it is. Push that off to the side. Turn on a new layer. Right, and on this new layer, I can go to the symbol sprayer. So symbol sprayer tool, just make sure the symbol you just created is selected, and then you can come in, resize the brush. I just realized you could do that with the closing bracket, just like in Photoshop. But there's all the stars. So it's like, ring, the new legends, you guys. And then from there, you can start to spin them, resize them, right? So we could have them, say, larger over here at this end, and then hold down the Option key, and that's going to shrink it up and make it smaller there. Okay? So again, just having fun with some magic today in Illustrator. Yeah, you could always do like a rounded star or any of that stuff, since that's a request that I'm seeing in chat. Star tool, bop, there we are. This is what I was doing. Like, you could take this, you could draw this out. By the way, I use my up arrows to give me all these different points. Then go to your direct selection tool, and with your direct selection tool, right, you can make it a little bit more rounded if you want to, like that. I don't know if that's what you mean, but I also did this earlier where I just selected the inside because I think it's cool if it looks kind of like that. It's rounded on the inside like so. So you get the idea. Yeah, that's right. Isn't this symbol sprayer fun, huh? Isn't that cool? And the great thing is these are individual objects. So you can always come in here and break this apart. So let's go to Object, Expand. Right, and now we have all these. Let's ungroup them. You know, now they're all over the canvas. But now if I do want to kind of control them or get rid of some, because maybe there's too many, I have that sort of control. Maybe duplicate this one, put that there. You guys get the idea. So where can you get this font? The font I think I got on Pixel Surplus. Pixel Surplus. Either way, you can go to, I would probably just go to Behance and search for, or just go to the Interwebs and search for that font. But I think I got it from Pixel Surplus. And they have font bundles that you can use. This one, yeah. I don't know if this is the same as the other one. I think it is. But yeah, that's the same one I've used. Cool. Symbol sprayer is awesome. Got a thumbs up. Love the option on Adobe Stock. Exactly, right? Like really. Like sometimes I need to make specific things, in which of course I will do. But sometimes just basic things I'll just find for free out there on good old Adobe Stock. So you guys are the new legends. You guys are the legends of tomorrow. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Susan, Jonathan, Dave, Stoney, Michelle, Ellie. Just kind of keep me in mind on on the interwebs, by the way. Would love to hear from you. And if you see or run across anything cool on the interwebs, let me know. And I'd love to like recreate it or do our own fun little spin on it. It'd be a lot of fun for me. So thank you so much. This is every week we do this. That was Internet Inspired. My name is Paul Trenny. Thank you so much for joining me. And go ahead, spread sparkles everywhere. Why not? Thanks for joining me.